As I'm revising for a trigonometry exam that I have in 3 days, a thought popped up in my mind. The reason why many people resort to memorizing and as a result get things wrong is because the brain is not made for memorizing. The brain is made for thinking, not memorizing. The brain is made for understanding, not memorizing. The brain is made for processing your thoughts, not memorizing them. Now, granted, there is a section of the brain called hippocampus which stores all of your long term memory, but the main reason why we have a brain is to remember things, not to remember things, to process things. So, in order to process some things, you'll need to remember them. So, that's one key thing that I think a lot of students get wrong, or a misconception that a lot of students have, is they tend to over memorize a lot of things, especially for mathematics, where a lot of maths, where you have to memorize formulas and all that stuff, and whenever you have equations, especially in physics, you don't need to memorize. You don't need to memorize them. I'll say that one more time. You do not need to memorize them. You need to understand them. You need to know where they come from, what they mean, and what they represent. So in the exam, you don't have to sort of force it out of your brain. It just comes naturally. It flows out. It flows out of your brain, and you can write it onto the paper. So for example, like this. For example, when theta is small, I'm doing radians right now. Sine theta is approximately equal to theta. Cos theta is approximately equal to 1 minus theta squared over 2. And tan theta is approximately equal to theta. Those three, I mean, if for those of you that had no idea what I'm talking about, that sound like a lot of like rubbish. But for some people that have a small idea of what I'm talking about, you understood that. And for the people that understands, that do further maths, that understands where that comes from, for example, in a Chlorine series and the Taylor series, you'll know, you won't need to memorize that cos theta is approximately equal to 1 minus theta squared over 2. You'll just know that because that comes from the Maclaurin series. So it should be something that, like, it's not something you need to memorize more so than the people that don't do further maths, if you get what I mean. It's like, it's weird like that. So then I'm just thinking that can apply to a whole other array of things, and not just not just this example. This can apply to all the mathematics, and this can also apply to all of physics, further mathematics, and anything which has a lot of equations in it particularly. But also a lot of knowledge in general. You need to memorize it. You just need to understand where it comes from. And once you understand the storyline, then you can get a small section of the story. Once you understand the whole story, then even if you forget one part, you can easily fill in the gaps yourself. That's what the brain is supposed to do, anyways. So yeah, that's what I have to say about that. Peace.